Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Mercedes-AMG C43 4MATIC and it has been downsized and the price has gone really very high as well. So this car is kind of pointless. I'll tell you why. But before that, let's open the engine bay because this is the disappointment. 4 cylinders instead of 6. Yes, 2 cylinders have been reduced. Mercedes is on a rampage of reducing engines and killing the fun for enthusiasts. Washer fluid goes in right there. Says AMG here. One man, one engine philosophy, handcrafted by someone's name I'm not able to pronounce. I'm not going to get into that. Strut brace right there. Obviously it gets insulation, a different type of insulation there. So there seems to be no space inside this engine bay for a bigger engine, but I'm sure a 4-liter bi-turbo V8 can fit inside here. The engine itself will accommodate itself to fit in right here. Anyways, let's just shut this. The car looks absolutely beautiful because it has a lot of AMG bits. Firstly, these are the Mercedes digital lights with 1.3 million micro mirrors on the inside. This is the LED DRL, which also converts into the indicator on the other side because the indicators obviously turn on right here. Now, the grille is AMG specific. Is it the Pan Americana grille? You tell me. Radars are placed behind this massive Mercedes logo. There's a camera here. AMG written right here. 6 parking sensors. I think it has self-park as well. Aggressive bumper. These vents actually open and close for aerodynamic efficiency at higher speeds. There's the Mercedes logo. The red color actually suits this car. It looks amazing. I love the wheels. I'm a person who always loves black wheels or grey wheels, but these silver ones look phenomenal in this paint shade. Firstly, the length is almost 4.8 meters and these are 19-inch tires. Says AMG right here on the brake calipers. AMG written here as well. 245 40 19 is the size of the tires. It says turbo electrified. I'll tell you about all the tech in this car. In fact, there's a camera here. It even projects the Mercedes logo at night from here. This is aggressive body kit, so there's a side skirt here. Rear tire size is bigger, so yeah, obviously it puts more power at the rear. 265 35 19 35 profile tires at the rear, which is crazy. 66-liter fuel tank capacity. I love the design of the C-Class. I think it looks fantastic. Mini S-Class, of course. Says C43 right there, but Faisal Khan's fingers of truth disappointed with this fake stuff happening here, which is happening on a lot of new Mercedes cars. In fact, it gets 6 parking sensors at the rear. Quad exhaust, but there are actually 2 tailpipes because behind this there's just one. So they're kind of fooling us there. But never mind, it looks fantastic, better than having fake exhaust. Diffuser treatment right there. And it says AMG, Mercedes logo. Let's open the boot. I press a button, there it opens. The most useless boot in the world. 455 liters, but the spare wheel is placed on top, which is obviously not full size. It's a smaller size spare wheel. The tire size is something I don't even want to read, but 125 70 19. It's not even an alloy. So yes, it's a small spare wheel, but it should be below now. Why is it on top? No idea. Warning triangle. You can actually recline the seats from here. I press a button, there it goes down. That's very much needed because the spare wheel is just eating into the boot carrying capacity. Hook here. First aid kit, of course. Let's just shut this. Oh my god, powered in a sedan of this class. Not needed at all. Meanwhile, lights are really nice and beautiful. In fact, the attention to detail is crazy. There's a Mercedes logo you can see on the inside. This is the rear fog light and it even says Mercedes-Benz here. The other problem with this car is that there is not much space on the inside. Okay, it has got request sensors on all the doors. Let me put this back into place.
12 seconds later.
You need 2 hands to do it, but anyways, I managed that pretty well. You get a manual sun blind at the rear, sunshade or whatever you want to call it. There I fixed it. Quality levels are absolutely phenomenal. Space is a bit disappointing. Red colored seat belts and everybody gets a proper seat belt and proper headrest as well. In fact, space is not that much. Under thigh support is poor. Center passenger cannot sit only because of this hump. AC vents which have no control. Where is the charging socket here? Let me see if it's here or not. Okay, there are cup holders. So this is a mobile holder and there is a cup holder. I can't find any charging sockets at the rear. Center passenger does get a head. Alcantara finish seems fantastic. And you've got aircraft style magazine holders, but height adjustable seat belts, a hook, another hook handle to hold on to. So yes, that's practical. In fact, I can move it ahead and behind like this. That is easy. The dashboard looks phenomenal, really very nice, sweetly done. Ambient lighting you can see here, of course. No buttons here, but this is the tweeter, I believe. Leather placement here and there. This car is very nice in terms of the feel good factor, in terms of the design, in terms of the tech. Don't tell me you have soft closed door. No, you do not have. Obviously at this price I'm expecting it. That's very wrong of me. But here it does not say AMG. Okay, firstly there is a camera there, obviously for the lane keep assist and all. There's a sensor for rain sensing wipers. What is this sensor? Mercedes logo here on the wiper. It says Mercedes here. Shouldn't it tell the name of the person who's actually assembled this engine? Well, I don't know. Let's get inside. Okay, this is the key of the vehicle. Says AMG here. Unlock the car, open the boot of the vehicle. This to lock the car. That's about it. Nothing funky. Doesn't need to be. Now the seat is adjustable in a multitude of ways. Firstly, no problem in terms of under thigh support, because with a touch of a button, I can increase and decrease the under thigh support. Yes, the controls are right here. Now these are sort of difficult to operate. You've got memory function. You can save up to 3 people settings. Heated seats as well, which is unnecessary. And this whole panel looks very nice for the power window control. This is for the mirror controls. Again, not the easiest to use. To open the boot, Burmester, it says you get a proper dead pedal there. It says airbag because it has got 7 airbags. Seats are the ones from obviously AMG. So they are these bucket type ones, which are absolutely phenomenal in terms of comfort and all. You can even adjust the lumbar if you so wish, and then I can move it ahead and behind in a lot of ways by using this switch here. So firstly, let's turn off the indicator. The glove box is decent size. In fact, there's a shelf on the top as well. It is lockable, which should be the case. My knee actually hits right here, so ergonomically it could be a lot better. Controls for the headlights. This is the electric parking brake. And the dashboard looks very nice with this sort of carbon fiber finishing, Alcantara on the steering wheel. In fact, the steering has these button controls for the haptic controls, but they are not that nice to use. Before that, let me just swipe this to open the sun blind, and it has got 2 sunroofs. The front one is massive. Yeah, look at the size of this. This is like really big. The rear one is a bit chintu mintu, but this is something which Mercedes has been doing since a long time, giving 2 sort of sunroofs in its cars. Let's open the front one, which actually brings the much needed airiness inside this cabin, because obviously you need to realize that the cabin is all black, so it could do with a lot of light. Yeah, this is decent size. Meanwhile, you've got a lot of light controls. It's got Mercedes Me auto dimming. You have a mirror and a light. Same is the case here as well, but because this car has a lot of G-force, you get a handle to hold on to, which is quite good. Steering wheel is electrically adjustable, which I quite like. I love the Alcantara. I love the fact that they've added these controls with which I can actually go through the drive modes. I can change a lot of things, including the exhaust. Yes, just press a button here. I can change the exhaust. I press it inside. I can get into the various other settings. So everything is on your fingertips, literally. Here you get this sort of carbon fiber finishing, and you obviously get a BMW key, because the BMW M340i is just a better car. It also gets a heads-up display, the BMW, not this car. And here you get 2 USB-C charging sockets, 1 USB-C charging socket there. Wireless charging pad is in a place where you can't see much of what is happening to your phone. Press this AMG button there, you can go through a lot of modes as well. Meanwhile, 360-degree parking camera, which is absolutely amazing, but attention to detail is poor because this car is not silver. It is red, but it's showing me a silver car here. I don't know why. Meanwhile, okay, I can get into the car settings from here, change a lot of things. So I quite like that. Biometric sensor, yeah, it's making this sound. I can turn on and off the screen. I love the fact that the audio control is here. Audio quality is phenomenal. Burmester sound system. This is turn on the vehicle. This is for the start stop system. This is an 11.9-inch portrait screen, which is absolutely phenomenal. I love the quality of the screen. It is so nice to use. There's track pace, which lets me see a lot of things. It keeps warning me for no reason, but come on. Yeah, oh god, what am I pressing and what is happening? So there I can actually do a drag race and time myself too, which is quite cool. Yeah, there's AMG performance, which lets me see a lot of information. Yeah, how much power and torque there, yeah. Then vehicle data is there, showing me the springs and everything. And then there's this clock too, which is quite cool. Meanwhile, that can also be used as a start stop system. Here, let me get into comfort, because it has got seat kinetics, which is like a fake massage, but there is ambient lighting, the usual case with Mercedes cars, with 64 colors. But I'm disappointed it does not get ventilated seats. It gets heated seats, it does not get ventilated seats. I love the paddles. The paddles are really very nice. I love the fact that these are easy to use. I mean, this is easy to use, but come on, this should not be plastic. Let's use the wipers right away, which means press the button there. Oh my god, there is a lot of spray which is actually falling from here. Wipers work really well. This is obviously the wind deflector. I love this screen. Now let's get into reverse, which is from here. So that is the reverse parking camera, which actually pops out from the rear. Yeah, and 360-degree parking sensors, parking assistance is also there, which helps me park. So a lot of cool bits inside this car. In terms of tech, they've nailed it, but in terms of price, they've really disappointed. This screen can be changed, so multiple views for the same. I love the Super Sport one. Doesn't this look so awesome? And then obviously there is track pace, which is also given here. So G-force meter, you name it, everything is there. The horn is also quite cool. AC vents are very easy to use, turn on and off if you so wish, and the red stitching on the dashboard makes it look really very nice and sporty. The interior is phenomenal in this car. I really like it, but then it's all about the performance. With 2 less cylinders, has it really disappointed us? I'm afraid it has. Let's start driving. Notice how race start happens at 3400 RPM, but using the right pedal I can increase it all the way to 4000 RPM. Alright, we are all set to go, which means getting into Sport Plus mode. I change this for the engine data. I get into drive, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, race start in. Yeah, performance is actually quite good. So let's quickly get into some interesting data here, like performance, which tells me how much power and torque is being consumed. So this is the C43, which has become the victim of downsizing, and the result is it produces 20 Newton meters lesser torque when compared to before, but power has gone up by 18 horsepower more powerful when compared to the older C43, which was rupees 23 lakhs less, and it was obviously a coupe. So yes, prices have gone through the roof here with the new C43 AMG. This car produces 500 Newton meters of torque, and the power output is actually the best in the segment at 408 horsepower, in spite of the fact that it has 2 cylinders less. Yes, downsizing has hit this car hard. It has the same M139 engine, which also powers the A45, but it just feels out of place here because in the A45 it never got a V8, so we never had that expectation. Here it has 2 less cylinders when compared to the older 3-liter 6-cylinder engine C43, which obviously sounded better. Now, in terms of performance, this is 0.1 second faster to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, because this car takes 4.6 seconds to hit the turn. The older one used to take 4.7 seconds, and the top speed is 250 kilometers per hour, where it is obviously limited. I'm just going to keep changing the modes here because obviously we can, and I'm going to change this as well. The performance is actually quite good. Turbo lag is very well contained because this one has some F1 tech known as an electric turbocharger. So basically in the turbo there's an electric motor which helps spin the turbocharger before the boost comes from the exhaust gases, resulting in lesser turbo lag and instant response, which is the case here. But this car actually has fake sounds. Okay, now we were in the wrong direction, but never mind. This car is very agile, very good around the corners. Body roll is well contained, and it's a dream to drive because the handling is very nice and the performance is so good that even if I leave the throttle now, it still keeps pulling ahead relentlessly. That is the kind of thrust this car has to offer. Now there are a lot of things you can alter. Firstly, there are 5 drive modes. There is a snow mode, I think. Then there is, I think, a winter mode, that is. Then there is the individual mode, which lets me set the things personally however I want. Then there is comfort, sport, and sport plus. We are in sport plus. So what all things change? The engine obviously changes. The gearbox can change, so you can change it into manual or obviously regular drive. Then there is the AMG dynamics, which can be basic, advanced, pro. Then you can change the suspension. There are 3 modes for the same: comfort, sport, and sport plus. Sport plus is the stiffest. It does not get air suspension. It gets adaptive dampers and steel springs, of course. And then you can change the exhaust from normal to powerful. Powerful is obviously louder, and the traction control system obviously you can change too. Throttle response is amazing. In fact, this engine pulls all the way till 7000 RPM, so there's thrust throughout the rev rings. That's the kind of pull it has. It's just amazing how this engine performs. It's very smooth, very refined, and when you open the throttle, it absolutely catapults ahead, so it does not hesitate at all. It gets a 9-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox with paddle shifter, so you can obviously manually take control of things. But I feel that if I want to actually hold on to a gear, I will have to change stuff here. So let's actually get into the drive mode thing. Yeah, now we are in manual. I'm going to downshift. Now check this. Yeah, 7000 RPM, the magic number on the cluster, which actually makes me get into super sport. Oh my goodness, the exhaust does sound good. Why? Because the insulation is so good, and it's a 4-cylinder engine, so it doesn't really sound loud when compared to the older 6-cylinder model. What they have done is they have actually put mics around the exhaust, which actually pipe the sound through the speakers on the inside. So yeah, fake stuff happening here, but BMW is also doing it, so you really can't complain. Every car brand is like, how do we make our car sound better? That is the trick. So the ride is actually on the stiffer side. Obviously really low profile tires. 35 at the rear is very, very, very low profile. But yes, it gets the job done because it doesn't feel super stiff like say an A45. It's still compliant enough. It's not going to break your back like the A45. So you can still drive it on Indian roads, which are far from perfect. So the ride is actually decent. It's not great, but it's not bad either. Handling is very nice. Steering is responsive. It gives you a good amount of feel and feedback. It doesn't have the last minute precision which you would expect, and then 69% of the power goes to the rear wheel. This is obviously a 4MATIC system, so 31% to the front axle, resulting in this being a more rear biased car. However, this will understeer under very heavy cornering, which actually is kind of weird because it should be oversteering, right? But no, it doesn't do that. but you will not complain much because the performance is more than enough in spite of the downsizing. It obviously has all the ADAS based system. Front collision warning was ringing right now. So I love the way the modes have been done. They are absolutely phenomenal. The quality of the cabin, everything is phenomenal to say the least. I love this car. I absolutely love the C-Class. It's one of the best cars you can buy in India right now because it gives you the mini S-Class vibe. And in AMG, guys, it's fast, it's fun, it's responsive. In fact, I'm not even turned off the air conditioning today because I thought, why not? The whole reason is that the artificial sounds are so loud. Now you can still hear it. So this is the navigation mode of the cluster. Here we can see the consumption data as well. I'm actually going to stop and launch really soon, but the brakes are very sharp brakes. Obviously, grip levels are fantastic. So not much to complain about in this car. Is this car perfect? Well, it kind of is, unless and until, firstly, let me give you a disclaimer. If you are a Mercedes employee, this is the time you should shut this video. Yeah, just shut the video now because the good things are over and now it's the time for some honesty and it's going to hit you really hard. Actually, Mercedes employees should continue seeing this video so you don't the upcoming E63 AMG because downsizing makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. We absolutely reject, like I reject, and almost every consumer has rejected this downsizing to 4 cylinders. Nobody bought the new C63. The sales of this car are actually almost close to zero. Nobody wants a 4-cylinder C63, especially when you have the fantastic V8. Saying that EVs are as much fun as, say, a gas-powered car is saying that you can actually go ahead and make a steak in a microwave and not on a grill. You know, the end result might be the same, but the fun is just lacking. So that is the fact. With the C63, they have a plug-in hybrid electric motor. Here also, electric motor is actually the 48-volt mild hybrid system, which gives an additional boost of 14 horsepower and around 200 Newton meters, resulting in this car being faster in spite of the added weight. So naturally, I'm going to compare it with the Audi S5, which is actually 0.1 seconds slower in spite of the fact that it has 58 horsepower less. So all the 3 cars in the segment produce the exact 500 Newton meters of torque. I don't know, they came together and decided, okay, let's produce 500 Newton meters of torque. Mercedes has the most power, the Audi has the least power, but still the Audi is not that slow. The S5 is still quite fast because Audi's quarter system is absolutely phenomenal in the way it puts the power down. This is not bad at all, but there, yeah, you can see that. Why is it showing me a car and not a truck there? So that's a bit of a fumble. And this is the service one. So yeah, really nice clusters, but why is there no heads-up display, which is actually there in the M340i? Now the Audi S5 costs rupees 27 lakhs less, in spite of the fact that it's also CBU. This is also fully imported, but don't even get me started on the M340i because now it's the time we stop and we launch, and then I'm going to tell you the absolute truth about why this C43 just does not appeal and is something you should definitely skip if you're planning to buy one. So hazard lights on. We are going to change the cluster mode to, oh my god, there's so much dust here. Yeah, we are going to come into the track pace. Here also I'm going to get into the track pace thing, so you get a lot of information. Now it's telling me, okay, I am control okay with everything. So first and foremost, I actually have to get out of manual mode because manual mode would not be the best way to launch it, obviously, because I will not be able to shift as fast as this dual clutch. So left foot on the, didn't I not change this? What is happening to you?
I am noob.
So yeah, we are in track pace. Okay, there it's showing me the green lights, ready to pull off. Hazard light off, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, race start. Oh my god, it took 4.6 seconds to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. The exact same claim time from Mercedes. Fantastic, Mercedes, fantastic. You have stayed true to giving us the right numbers because this car can go even faster because obviously it was a little dusty, but no issues in terms of traction. Absolutely puts all that power down relentlessly, which is something I really like. So I'm actually going to get into the AMG bit and we are going to change the drive mode. We are going to get into individual mode. I am going to turn off the traction control. So that is into sport handling mode. Can I keep it pressed to turn it off? Let's see. Yeah, now it is off and exhaust is obviously on. Kind of feels like a race car. The problem is this car just doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and I'll tell you why. First and foremost, the price is ridiculous. At rupees 1.17 crores on road Mumbai, Mercedes has gone next level greedy by increasing the prices to a level you cannot just digest. But the point is, this car is fantastic when seen in isolation, but unfortunately our world and society does not live in isolation, right? Our parents have always been comparing us with Sharma ji ka beta, and the Sharma ji ka beta here is none other than the fantastic, fabulous, the BMW M340i, which produces lesser power, 382 horsepower. This is 408 horsepower. So yes, this car is producing around 26 horsepower more than the BMW, but the BMW is lighter. The BMW is faster. It goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 4.4 seconds. This car goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4.6 seconds. So in spite of having lesser power, how is BMW managing to put all that power down even better than Mercedes? Because 6-cylinder engine for the win. Firstly, the BMW sounds better. It's way cheaper. 31 lakh rupees is a lot of money. But why is Mercedes overpricing their cars? Simply because they overprice the C-Class. So now obviously they cannot price the C43 near to the C-Class. They have to have some distinction there, right? The price difference between the C300D and the M340i is around 5-7 lakhs, which is nothing. I would never buy the C300D over the M340i. The M340i is the best car for Indian roads for performance enthusiasts because it has got the performance, it has got the punch, and it's affordable because it's locally assembled in India. Mercedes' commitment to the Indian market is we are going to locally assemble EVs for you, which very few people are interested in. But the performance car, Mercedes is not assembling in India, which they should be doing, and BMW is doing it the other way around. And that's the reason we all love BMW so much, because BMW understands what enthusiasts want. Mercedes somehow does not. Now let me get into the top gear here. Yeah, 9th gear. Come on, put me in 9th. So obviously it feels more calmer when I'm in 9th gear. It's more smoother, it's more refined, but this gearbox fumbles. Firstly, okay, now it shifted quite fast, but it fumbles at lower speeds, and somehow the engine and the gearbox now, they are not in sync. They are just like alag. They don't understand what they are doing together. So that's a bit of a hiccup here. But the M340i really knocks this car out of the park by having better performance and just being faster and much more affordable. 31 lakh rupees is a lot. Let's forget that the M340i exists for a minute, okay? I don't care about the M340i, but before that, let's do the brake test. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the tires are grippy, but somehow on our surfaces now, the braking performance could be a lot better. So yeah, that's not very impressive the way the tires are screeching. So hazard lights on. We are going to come to a halt. I'm going to use track pace to launch it yet again. Do I have to change something here? No, yeah, the difference is now that I have actually gone ahead and actually turned off the traction control. So let's see whether it gives me the grip or not. Let's turn on track pace from here. Okay, and it's time to give it the full banana. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. I don't want the analysis, I want to start away again. Okay, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Race start. 4.61 seconds. That's super consistent. Yeah, Mercedes, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So for a minute I was like, let's forget the M340i exists. For 1.17 crores on road Mumbai for the price of this car, this is ridiculously expensive because you just have to pay 9 lakhs more and you get the E53, which is bigger. Okay, it's old, but it has got 6 cylinders, and it doesn't stop there, because if you pay just 2 lakhs more than this car, which is 1.19 crores, you get the fantastic BMW M2. Which has the S58 engine, the best 6-cylinder engine in the world, and the M340i has the second best 6-cylinder engine in the world. Yes, the B58 is absolutely phenomenal. Now, the M340i is the best, okay, but the M2 is even better at 1.19 crores, just 2 lakhs more. What do you get? You get rear wheel drive, you don't get any sort of electric assist at all, and you obviously get a manual gearbox. Beat that, 2-door, better looking, better performance, better handling, everything better. Why would you buy the Mercedes C43 AMG? I just don't understand the concept of this car at all. Mercedes, you needed to be more aggressive in terms of the pricing, but from a brand which has increased the price of its niche high-level SUV by approximately 50% in a matter of 2.5 years, you can expect anything. Yes, the G-Wagon was priced at 2 crores. Now it costs rupees 3.07 crores. Who increases the price of their car by 1 freaking crore when the car is the same generation, but it has some few accessories here and there and the engine is more powerful? Just does not make any sense. I am so sorry. I love you, Mercedes, but Mercedes, you are really messing it up big time with your pricing. And Mercedes thinks, you know what, chalta hai, who cares, who knows, we are still going to manage to sell a lot of cars because obviously people love the Mercedes brand and they are still going to buy it. I agree and I also disagree. You know why? Because people in India are very price conscious. They are not going to buy anything and everything you give to them. They are going to think about it, because with the M340i you can obviously get another sort of a small car, not small, but for 30 lakh rupees rupees, you can get so many cars. You can actually get virtuous manual and then tune it the nuts out. I'm actually searching for something to put here. We're going to put it into performance right now, and I'm going to change this mode so it obviously feels much more composed when being driven in, say, comfort mode, because in Sport Plus now it's really very aggressive a car. Super aggressive. In the city there's no problem at all. Turning radius is also quite low because it's got rear wheel steering, which actually turns by 2.5 degrees. At lower speed it does it in the opposite direction. At higher speeds it does it in the same direction, virtually enlarging the wheelbase. So yes, turning radius is not a problem at all, and you have to be careful over bumps. Low speed ride is on the stiffer side. Obviously high speed ride is definitely much better, and that's how most global brands do it. They tune their car to be stiffer, and then that aids in high speed stability because the roads are very good now abroad. This car is obviously not made for India, fully imported. Mercedes, I love you, but please stop messing up right, left and center. What is this kind of pricing and what is this downsizing? Now most people think Mercedes is doing it obviously for saving the environment. No, not at all. No corporate entity is concerned about the environment. If they did, they would not be making cars. And if they really did, what were they doing from 2004 to 2023, which is right now? Tesla started around 2004. So let's forget the first 6 years of Tesla because they were just establishing themselves. But 2010 onwards, Tesla has been a force to reckon with. What took Mercedes so long to bring the electric cars out? Were they sleeping that time? Well, now they realize that we can make a lot more money by selling electric cars, because developing an engine is a very hectic job with a lot of R&D involvement. But developing an electric motor is so freaking easy, and that is the direction they are going in. Now this car is fast, but it's not furious, and that is the major disappointment with this car. This W206 5th generation of the Mercedes C-Class in C43, guys, doesn't impress. I'm so sorry about that. Or I can actually call it the 6th generation if I consider the W201, which is technically the predecessor of the Mercedes C-Class as well. You can go to the description. I've actually done a video of the W201 as well. The car which was made like a tank. The car which was not made by accountants but by engineers, which makes me realize that it's time to launch yet again. And here we go. My goodness. Race start, and the launch control activates so freaking fast. It's amazing. Bye.